Hey, what's up? This is Spider-Prime1 back again with another Transformers video review. Alright, while I did get this one last, I'm doing him third because I want to leave the last character of the Wave 1 series to last because he's the hardest. And I'm not going to say who it is in case you don't know. Or you could go find out on pretty much any site that does Transformers. This is Reveal the Shield Deluxe Class Wreck-Gar. Now Wreck-Gar is from the planet of Junk. So he's not Cybertronian, but he's still a Transformer. And is an Autobot. Which is kind of funny that I find it kind of funny in the 86 movie, they crash land on the planet of Junk, and then you see all the Junkions rise out of the planet itself, and then like they go to attack the Autobots, while they all have Autobot symbols on their chests or arms or shoulders or what have you. And it's like, if you already signed up with the Autobots, why are you attacking the Autobots? And that's a thing I noticed with animated too. When the Dinobots would transform into their robot modes, guess what symbol they had on their chests? Autobot symbols. Who did they hate? The Autobots. When Wreck-Gar was brought online by an Allspark fragment, while he kind of played around with it, the first time he transformed, what did he have on his chest? An Autobot logo. And then when he got tricked by Lugnut, he swapped it for a Decepticon one and then put an Autobot one back on there. But yeah, I'm starting to find out that like all these random characters that are getting brought into the franchises, the different franchises, have already been, like, for the sake of the toy line, have already been given either Autobot or Decepticon logos on their toys and stuff. And so they just throw that into the TV show and or movie. Like with Wasp, or Waspinator in Transformers Animated. He had an Autobot symbol on him when he was Wasp, and he would transform into the green car that looked like Bumblebee. But when he became a Predacon, or what we would call a Predacon, but when he became Waspinator, he just automatically got a Decepticon symbol, like either on his chest or on his Wasp stinger area. So, I don't know, they're just, I guess if you're a Transformer, you're automatically born with a symbol, and then you can change it at will, like Wreck-Gar. But anyways, I seem to be rambling for 3 minutes on end in the past couple of videos. Anyways, on to the figure itself. Wreck-Gar. He is a motorcycle, as he was in Generation 1. Although this one's more, even though it's kind of mishmashed already, it'll be even more mishmashed in robot mode. But this one is based off of a, I don't want to say motocross just in case I'm wrong, but he looks like a dirt bike. Where it's got the big old suspension springs in the front, it's got the pointed front, it's got the license plate area that just hangs out of nowhere, the big old exhaust pipe, and then the rub symbol is located right here on the miniature windscreen. I'm not gonna waste time trying to get the logo to light up. I do like the flames that are on the gas tank here. There are 2 notches in his bicycle seat right here, or 2 holes, excuse me. And that's for if you purchased the E-Hobby 3-pack I could be wrong, but it's a 3-pack of Matrix Hot Rod or Rodimus, Battle Damage Cup, and Scrap Heap? Yes, Scrap Heap. Or the most recently released Junk Heap. If you have 2 versions of the Junkion mold, you can have one in motorcycle mode and the other one in robot mode, and their waist or their crotch area, like right here, here's his waist / crotch area. See how it comes to a point? Well, it does it on both sides. So if you have 2, one in vehicle, one in robot, you can plug the robot one into the bicycle seat, and then put his hands on the handlebars, and they can ride each other like they did in the '86 cartoon. But that's not just limited to Junkions. Like here, Bumblebee. Give me just a second here. So you can have other Transformers riding him. And that actually looks kind of cool. I may have to display him like that for a little bit. But yeah, the vehicle modes are not in scale to each other, like he is to Bumblebee or he is to Optimus or stuff like that. They're not in scale that way, they're in scale robot modes. But it's kind of good that they're not, so that way we could have that little play option of putting another Transformer on top of him. But enough with that. Transform! First you want to move up the kickstand. And you want to come over here and grab this whole piece and unclick it from the peg that it was on. And you want to unfold it like this, so it's up like that. And then I usually fold the little clip away like this. And then you want to take this and you spin it out like so. You can keep going till the points hit each other, but I think that looks stupid. So I leave it like that. It's a lot more cartoon accurate. And then take Wreck-Gar and you untab this piece from what's going to be his chest, and you fold it all the way up, and then there's a tab and a hole, and you plug it in like that. And then you separate like that and bring it up, and you want to turn the leg this way, and you come here and you separate this piece from here, and then you unfold the leg, which has a double knee joint, double knee, single knee, and then I've on tfwiki.net, excuse me, tfwiki.net, it says not to do, in capital letters, do not do the automorph for the handlebars by yourself, or do not do it manually. But the pegs that are on these rubber handlebars that go into here are too strong for the automorph to just do by itself. So what I do is I untab, or I pop out the pegs, because it says if you do it manually enough you will break it, and I really don't want to break it. But I just untab the peg like it's not wanting to do. Come on. There we go. And then just do the automorph the way it's supposed to be, which is you pull on the foot, and the headlight and the handlebars fold up against the gas tank, and then you flip the foot around. And then over here you want to split the foot, like so. And then you want to push the legs together. And you want to turn the chest this way. Split the arms and fold them up against the chest, or the sides of the chest, sides of the body. Flip the hand around. Same over here. Flip the hand around. And then you move the whole neck and head joint up. And there you have Wreck-Gar in robot mode. He looks pretty cool. The black flames are now on his leg, so in order to compensate, we have yellow flames on his chest. We have the original G1, I don't know, faux bike handles or gun turrets or whatever coming out of his shoulder blades. Or his pecs, I guess. A shame the horns on his head are molded in clear plastic to go with the light piping, even though his eyes are painted red. But it still works, sort of. And then this wheel here can actually be untabbed from this part right here, and you could fold it down and attach it to his shoulder, or not his shoulder, his elbow, and give him the shield he had in G1. But that severely limits the arm articulation, so I just leave it tabbed in back here. And he's already goofy looking enough. It's fine the way it is. Now I gotta plug that back in. There we go. And then one thing about his weapon, when you put it into his hand, I've seen reviews about it, so I already knew about this long before I got this figure. When you put the weapon into his hand, it doesn't matter how, it will cause a stress mark. Now I don't know if it'll break his hand eventually, but all I do is I just slide this into the top of his hand up into this part right here, and he already has a stress mark developing up behind his fingers. It's just a small one, and it only goes as far as you can slide the weapon in to his hands. Or, okay, it doesn't go the whole way, but it only goes past these, up to these two fingers right here. But that's all I do with the weapon. I don't snap it in, I just push it in through the top. And I never put it in this hand. So this hand doesn't have a stress mark, and this one only has a slight one. So if you don't want a big old white stress mark on your Wreck-Gar's hand, but you want him to use the weapon, I say do it this way, because that's the easiest way to not put a full stress mark and not put a big one in there. I mean, mine's about the size of a fingernail. So yeah, the stress mark in the hands and the handlebars are the things you want to watch out for with this toy. Otherwise, you could break off the handlebars. I don't know if his hand will break. I'm not gonna experiment because I don't have a second one for backup. And so yeah, this is how I usually just display my Wreck-Gar or play with him or whatever. So yeah, Wreck-Gar, though he has his scary bits, he's still a good toy. He has ball jointed shoulders, swivel shoulders, elbow joint, swivel at the hands, head's on a ball joint. He has his mustache and beard. he has a ball joint at the hips, swivel at the hip. One leg is double jointed, one leg is not, but they still have knee joints. This foot has a ball joint and a forward and back joint. This one has a ball joint and a forward and back. So you can get him into oh, and he has, obviously, due to transformation, he has a waist joint, but he can kind of go up and down on that too, because it's a ball joint. So he has some pretty good articulation. And I definitely recommend, even though I haven't yet, picking up Junk Heap. Junk Heap if you want to go the cheap way, or Scrap Heap, who I think has a better head sculpt, if you want to look on eBay or get the full set with the Matrix Rodimus and the Battlescar Sergeant Cup. But yeah, I definitely would recommend buying 2 versions of this mold, either the 2 Junkions or Wreck-Gar and one of the others, or 2 Wreck-Gars if you want to go that way. But yeah, just so you can get the full playability out of the 2 of them with the one riding the other. And one more thing before I sign off. His hands are kind of funny. This hand has it looking like this. Like these 2 fingers are sticking out over these 2 fingers. Whereas this hand, I'm just going to use the same hand here, makes it look like this. I don't understand why they're that different. And who would hold their hand like this? I don't know. But this is Wreck-Gar with his oddly positioned hands. I'm Spider Prime 1, and I'm going to sign off.